I mean, everything that I had learned up until this point has helped with every aspect of the business. Coming into an environment like this and having mentors and having people to help you be accountable, it's a game changer.
I didn't even think about any of these things. It's cool that you found all these problems with the traditional products.
It took a lot of digging to really figure out all of the pain points because there's so many.
It seems like that's a trend in your life. Like all these opportunities that you had have just kind of just fallen in your lap and you just take it and you run with it.
Definitely. Yeah, it takes a lot of hard work, right? I feel like everybody has experiences like this to a degree.
How do you really connect with the customer to educate them?
That's our biggest problem right now.
Yeah. Hello and welcome everyone. This is the Founder Scoop. Today I have with me my guest, Rylan Wheeler. Thank you for being on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So what is your company called?
Yeah, so my company is called Biosphere, and we have a product called Revital-Ice, which is the first of its kind, 2-in-1 ice melt and fertilizer. So our product will work in the winter as an ice melt, works amazingly as a fertilizer in the spring and summer.
Dude, that is really cool.
It's very unique, right?
Yeah, I love it. So what kind of got you into wanting to be an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so, early on in my life, I knew that I was interested in business of some sort. I really liked finances. I really liked, accounting, really looking into things like that, reading business books from a young age. I was just super, super interested in those kind of things. And growing up, I had a lot of amazing business mentors. There were a lot of people that attended my church congregation who were great mentors to me, who owned businesses, who started businesses. And I remember there was this one guy in particular who was an amazing mentor for me. I was about 6 or 7 years old. My mom used to work for him a long time before. And after church one day, she said, "Hey, Rylan, go up and talk to him, shake his hand, and he'll, give you some insights," or something like that. And so I go up, a 6 or 7-year-old, after church, shake his hand. And he taught me so many amazing things. So every week after church, I'd go up to him and shake his hand, and he'd have a new piece of advice for me, how to network, how to shake hands, how to tie a tie, like just little things here and there. So eventually he actually ended up hiring me as his landscaper. So I was 10 or 12 years old at the time, and I took care of everything outside of his home. So that was kind of my first business, was, just weeding and mowing his lawn and doing things like that.
Man, that is so cool. I love it. How many clients did you get at the beginning? Was it just him, or did you start branching out immediately?
So he had a really big house, so it took up all my time.
Nice.
Yeah. So in the summer, I was out playing with my friends, so I spent maybe 2 hours a day over there just pulling weeds. He had a pretty big house, and I was
That's
pretty
cool.
small back then. So.
And how old were you at this time?
I was about 12 years old.
12 years old.
Yep.
That is so cool. So what happened after that? What else? What other experiences did you have that kind of encouraged you to take this path?
Yeah. So I worked for him from age 12 to about 16 or 17 is when I stopped. I had some other jobs that I worked. I did some retail sales. But my entrepreneurship journey really started to pick up when I was in my undergraduate degree. That's when I got a business degree from BYU, Idaho, a minor in finance.
And where are you from, by the way?
I'm from southeastern Idaho, Idaho Falls.
Okay. So it wasn't too far.
Yeah, about 30-minute drive from my parents' house.
Nice.
So I didn't go too far from home, but it was a great exposure to business, because up until that point in my life, I knew I wanted to do business. I really had no idea what it was, but I knew that this is something that I wanted to pursue. So in that degree, I was able to learn a lot about entrepreneurship. I was able to learn a lot about business and really hone in on what it is I wanted to do.
Man, that is super cool. So what did you do after you graduated?
So I graduated less than a year ago, back in December.
Congrats.
So,
that's huge.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was really, really big. Huge accomplishment for me. After I graduated, I pretty much started right onto this. So in my undergrad, I had 2 different businesses that I ran. So this is technically my third business, Biosphere is. I did a solar sales company. I was in connection with somebody who was able to get me on as an independent dealer. That was a great learning experience for me. Not very successful. I didn't really have any mentors or people to help me along the way with the solar sales. So that didn't go too far. I ended up breaking even on that business, which was great. So
what made you want to
lost.
do that business? Was it just an opportunity and you thought, yeah, I'm going to jump in?
It was just an opportunity. Yeah, there was nothing really there that was drawing me to it other than the fact that this is a business that I could start while I'm in school. And so I just went for it. So gave it everything I had, but not the most successful from a business standpoint.
Well, it's cool that you broke even. I feel like a lot of times when you fail at a business, it's not break even.
Yeah, definitely not. So that was a huge blessing. It definitely walked away with a lot of skills and abilities that I was able to put into my next business.
And what was your next business?
So that one it's a program at BYU Idaho, and it's called IBC. It is one of the most amazing business programs in the country. And there's about 150 students that are in this program each semester. They break you up into 10 companies, so 15 students per company, and they say, make a product and go sell it. So the teachers don't really interfere with it. They guide you along the way. They're a great mentor for you. But I was nominated as the first CEO of our company. You kind of switch roles every 3 weeks. So you go from marketing to operations to finance. But I was nominated as the first CEO of the company, and we ended up selling street tacos. So our company is called Tia Tortilla.
Nice.
And we sold street tacos every night in the cafeteria. So we got all the people studying there late at night. We had all the people there for events. And the business went great. We were one of the most successful companies in IBC history, actually.
Wow,
The
that's
program's
impressive.
been going for about 20 years. So we hit some great financial milestones. While I was the CEO of that company, the CFO, his name is Colin Hawkins. He's actually my business partner now. So between the two of us, we were both putting in 80 to 95 hours a week.
Holy cow.
Grinding
As
away.
a student?
As a student. So they recommend
That's ridiculous.
They recommend like 40.
Yeah.
But we were going above and beyond. Not just us, but a lot of people in the company were giving it everything that they had. So we were very blessed.
That's a
with
good
that.
team. That's amazing.
Yeah, which is why we did so great as a business. But we found out that we worked really great together, and we both graduated at the same time. And we said, we work really well together. We should find a product to sell and keep this going, which is exactly what we did.
That's awesome.
So that funneled into Biosphere.
Biosphere.
Yep.
And so how did you guys develop the product for Biosphere? Like what gave you the idea to even do this?
Yeah, so we spent some time looking around, trying to find what we might want to sell, what our skills are. Maybe we want to do a service business or something. But Colin's father is actually the PhD chemist who invented Revital-Ice. So he had sold this originally.
That's pretty convenient.
Very convenient, right? So
Yeah.
Colin all of a sudden remembered, hey, my dad has this product. He had the IP. He sold the IP to a different company a while back. That guy retired, so it shifted back to Dr. Hawkins, and he was like, I don't have the time for this, so I'll just let it sit. So it's been sitting idle for a couple years now. But Colin's like, oh, yeah, my dad's not selling this anymore. Dr. Hawkins has a free product that we can, lease from him. So we approached him with the business plan, and he said, yeah, you guys take it and run with it. So it was perfect timing for us.
That's
Doesn't
amazing.
get more perfect than that.
It seems like that's a trend in your life. Like all these opportunities that you had have just kind of just fallen in your lap, and you just take it and you run with it.
Definitely. Yeah, it takes a lot of hard work, right? I feel like everybody has experiences like this to a degree, but it's really the effort you put in from there on out.
Yeah. So was the product completely built for you and you just had to start marketing it?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, the company that had owned the IP before us had a lot of traction with the product. So they got it into Home Depot, they got it into Kroger's, Ace Hardware, and they sold to a bunch of property management groups across Utah and Idaho. So they were in the 6-figure revenue range yearly. So they were doing pretty great. When we got the product, obviously the product is developed and finished. All we got was the product. So we didn't get the branding, we didn't get the labels, we got some of the contact list, but we didn't know how much they sold per store. We didn't know really anything about the success of the product. We just knew it sold, they were doing well with it, and we have to figure out how to replicate that.
Wow. So did you start a new brand, or how did you go about resurrecting this product?
Yeah, so brand new brand. We figured that we should be super focused on the eco-friendly aspect of our ice melt and fertilizer. So we spent a little bit of time brainstorming, came up with Biosphere, year-round protection for the Biosphere.
I love it. Clever.
And thank you very much. Yeah. But we we just kind of ran with it from there. So, a lot of people think that we are extremely lucky to have stumbled upon a product like this that has already been validated. And we are obviously very blessed. We're further ahead than a lot of other companies that have to start in the prototyping phase. But it's not as easy as you would think, because we're pretty much validating from the MVP onward from there. Because we don't know what kind of companies are going to pick this up. We don't know what kind of marketing strategies work. So it's really like starting from ground zero with an amazing product.
So what was the first thing that you guys started to do once you approached Colin? What was the first thing that you guys did?
The first thing that we did was ask a lot of questions. And he didn't have the answers to all the questions. He knows everything about the product because he's the one that made it. But as far as the business aspect of it, he knows about as much as we did, which was not very much.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of time consulting with him, trying to see the pros and cons of the product, doing competitive analyses, trying to see, where does this really fit into the market itself? What do the other ice melts look like? What do the other fertilizers look like? What types of branding do they have? What are they focused on? And where can we fit in this already kind of oversaturated market?
That's really cool. Did you see a lot of the skills that you've already developed play a big role in this as well?
Definitely. I mean, everything that I had learned up until this point has helped with every aspect of the business. And like marketing skills, really competitive analysis was a big thing that I hit on in my other businesses, and trying to see where the needs are and how we could fill those needs with a new product.
So how do you perform a competitive analysis?
A lot of Google searches and a lot of going into stores and looking at what's there. I have a lot of pictures of ice melt and fertilizer on my phone from just going store to store. I talked to people in the stores who were buying fertilizer and just saying, hey, what are you looking for? Why would you buy this one over this one? What would you recommend for my lawn? Talking to employees at these stores and trying to just gather all the information that we can.
So what was the biggest piece of feedback that you got when you were doing this validation?
The biggest piece was that nobody really knows, the end consumer, as in if you're selling this in a retail store, nobody really knows anything about fertilizer and nobody knows anything about ice melt. They'll pick up
Nice.
They'll pick up whatever they think is cool in the store. For ice melt, whatever's in front of the store, they'll pick it up, put it in their cart, and they're good to go. Nobody actually takes even a second to think about what they're putting out on their property.
Interesting.
Well, 99% of people.
Yeah. So what did you do with that information?
We dug deeper. So we tried to figure out what problems that they have. So even though they're buying whatever ice melt is in front of the grocery store, they have a lot of problems on the back end. So what they were finding with these, all the ice melts in the store are salt-based or chloride-based. And with those, people complained about damaging their concrete when they shovel it off onto their lawn, kills their grass, hurts their pet paws. If their kid eats it, they have to take them to the hospital immediately, rust their brand new truck. So a lot of issues.
Interesting. I didn't even think about any of these things. It's cool. You found all these problems with the traditional products.
Yeah, it took a lot of digging to really figure out all of the pain points because there's so many. I mean, we knew about the concrete and the landscaping, but when you dig deeper, you realize that there's a lot more to it. And we took all this information and tried to figure out a way to really, people buy ice melt and they see that there's damages in the spring and they don't connect the two as the issue.
Interesting.
And so we're really trying to bridge that gap and educate people, saying what you're buying right now is causing you thousands of dollars in damages on the back end, not just for homeowners, but we've talked to commercial properties and universities that spend, upwards of $500,000 a year fixing these damages. So it's a big problem, but people just don't really think it's a problem because they don't think about it.
Yeah. That's really interesting, honestly. How do you really connect with the customer to educate them?
That's our biggest problem right now.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to finding the people that feel it the most, because everybody feels it in some way and everybody can benefit from our product. But where we don't have the validation from the prior IP owner, we have to create this validation. So technically it's a new product in the market. And nobody wants to be the first one to use a product, right?
Yeah.
Even if the science backs it, they want that validation to be there. They want to know that it works before they buy, 100 tons of it. And so we are really going after the people who use a lot of ice melt and have a lot of damages in the spring, because those people tend to connect the issues.
They're aware of the problem that you guys have recognized.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Also, do you guys sell in stores now, or do you sell online?
So we sell online. We're in 2 retail stores. We're shipping out our product on Monday, actually.
Oh, congrats.
So that'll be our
That's
first batch
huge.
for the winter.
No way.
Super excited about that. And we're also selling to a lot of big properties. We're getting product out to doTERRA, BYU Idaho, Les Schwab, Quick Quack Car Wash, a couple animal hospitals across the state. So we've gotten a wide range of customers across the board.
That's cool. So are you trying to sell to big businesses, or is it more individuals?
So right now we're focused on big business sales because it's very cheap for us to acquire those customers, right? All it costs is our time.
Yeah.
We don't have to put any ads out. We don't have to run a social media campaign. It's just picking up that phone or going in person.
And then they're going to buy a lot of it too.
Yeah. So we get the volume with a lot of effort but little cost. And we would like to use that to then fund our direct consumer route or getting into retail stores, because that takes a lot more marketing money, it takes a lot more effort to get that out there,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So in the beginning, you mentioned about how growing up, you had a mentor who really helped you. Do you have mentors that are helping you now with your sphere?
Lots of mentors.
Tell me about it. Who's been helping you, and what kind of success have you been able to achieve through mentorship?
Yeah, so with iHub, there are so many mentors, right? There's like 5 mentors minimum that come in every single week. And I've been blessed to be a part of iHub and be able to take advantage of these mentors and these opportunities, meet with them for 30 minutes. But there are, a handful of mentors that have taken more than just those 30 minutes out of their time to continually mentor me and my business partner. And it's made all the difference in the business. iHub was started like April or May of this year. Mm-hmm. And so from the time I graduated, December, until that point, I was in my apartment, like by myself, grinding away on my computer, going out to do whatever research, field research, but that's all I really had. So coming into an environment like this and having mentors and having people to help you be accountable, it's a game changer in every way for the business, because it just accelerates it.
That's
the growth.
Amazing. That is so awesome. I really love the vision of iHub and just how much they provide when it comes to mentorship. It's amazing to see.
It really is.
So what is kind of your plan for the future? Where do you see YearSphere going?
YearSphere is going to take off, and we're very confident in that. The product is amazing. The reviews that we've gotten from customers is amazing, and there's a huge need for it. The ice melt industry in the US, it's a $9 billion industry, billion with a B. And many people don't know, ice melt causes $8 billion in annual damages.
Wow.
So $9 billion industry causing $8 billion in damages, it's kind of a no-brainer that we need to find a better solution. Because the taxpayers are paying to fix those potholes. People have to fix their cars that are rusted. And so we see a huge play in getting into municipalities, which we're already talking to, and helping them make better decisions for these tax dollars going to work. And then on a smaller scale, helping those new homeowners or existing homeowners to not damage their property and save their hard-earned money.
Hey, that's super awesome to hear. Have you actually approached the government or the state at all to try and work out a deal with them?
Yeah, a lot. So it's a city by city basis. So we've talked to Provo City, Lehigh, we've talked to Boise, we've talked to Rexburg, we've talked to people over Public Works who are in charge of the roads and the sidewalks. We've talked to mayors, and across the board, everybody is very interested in the product, which is great news for us. That's some
huge.
amazing validation,
Yeah.
right? So we're just trying to figure out how we can best meet their needs and get this product out to them.
I love it. So what's kind of your 5-year plan? Where do you see YearSphere 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I see us in every municipality in the country. I think that the municipalities, a lot of them feel it more than anybody else because they're putting so much salt down. They have a lot more liability. They can't have, elderly people slipping on their way into City Hall or the library. And I truly believe that Revital-Ice will fix the problems that these municipalities have. So 5 years from now, I believe that we can be in all of those municipalities and help on that city level with everybody.
I can't wait to see that. That sounds amazing. I'm one for the environment, so like any product like this is amazing.
Thank you.
Do you kind of see yourself staying in this role, or do you hope to sell?
Hope to sell eventually. I want to build Yearsphere so that regardless of what happens, whether it's me and my business partner, co-founder taking this on long term, or handing this off to somebody else, we want to build it so that this is sustainable and that this will make a lasting impact forever.
I love it. I think I'm noticing a trend here. It's whatever opportunity comes.
Whatever opportunity comes, yeah. I mean, I plan for the future. My life has never gone according to my own plan. There's always a new opportunity that comes up that just makes sense, and you just got to seize it as it comes. So you got to be ready for those things.
I love it, man. Well, what other advice do you have to someone who's thinking about starting a business, or people that are just at the beginning stages? What advice would you have for them?
Validate, 100%. It's caused us so much headache. We thought we knew how to validate, but there's so much to it, and you never really stop validating your business idea. I mean, you can get to product market fit, but there's other things you need to build out in your business, and you have to validate that. So it's a constant process, but really not making assumptions too early and just rolling with it as it comes. Not taking whatever feedback your customers might give you too hard. Just take whatever they say and build a better product with it.
I love it. Well, thank you, man, for coming on the show. I really appreciate the things you've shared.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. This was amazing.
Yeah. Where can people go to learn more about you and Yearsphere?
Yeah, so our website is called year-sphere.com. So YEAR-SPHERE.com. There's all the information on there, some case studies from the government, and some great resources there to learn more.
Man, everyone go check it out.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And we're very excited for the future of Yearsphere.